this is kind of fun. I like to see this kind of general mockery towards the ridiculousness of Donald Trump's arguments, or right-wingers in general. Just like I was satisfied to see Chaya Raichik give that talk and get laughed at by the students in the audience.
Oh, yeah.
I also enjoy seeing Donald Trump's lawyer passionately give her case, and as she walks away, the rest of the reporters start laughing.
Affront to the American Constitution. It's an affront to our judicial system, and it's an affront to every lawyer that cares about their license, that cares about what is right and wrong. I am sick of coming in front of the press and saying this, but you have to, because you people need to understand what is going on. God forbid you put an accounting thing in for legal counsel. It's legal counsel. And now our taxpayer dollars, my time, our attorney's fees, are all here because they're afraid of 2024. And you know what? They should be, because the American people are not stupid. They see what's going on. Thank you.
Alina, one question. Was Trump's family with you guys across the street?
We got it there. It wasn't that audible, but people were reporting that reporters were having trouble basically concealing their laughter. You know, Alina Habba went to my high school. I mentioned this before. Also from New Jersey. I'll just make a point to her, Jersey girl, my friend. Like, I know we all love being tan and going to tanning salons in New Jersey. I went to a few. I'm a little ashamed of it. But just ease up a little bit. Just ease up a tiny bit, Alina. It's a little bit much.
Jim Tan laundry steal elections.
Although that, yeah. Although that might have been a spray. Anyway, yeah. It's interesting because Donald Trump has. When we spoke actually yesterday to Randall Eliason, he said that his legal team in this case is not as bad as the motley crew he had before, of the of Sidney Powell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rudy Giuliani's hair dyed.
Yep, dripping down. But still, like, the indignation that they're trying to portray here is not super effective. They don't have a ton of arguments except for the fact that, does this really amount to election interference? It clearly amounts to lying on your records, because it was presented as lawyer's fees when it was a hush money repayment to Michael Cohen, which he will testify eventually, to repay him because he gave $130K to Stormy Daniels.
But this is a classic, like, Trump surrogate, because, like, these sort of inauspicious but slightly credentialed beginnings in terms of Trump land, in the sense that I mean that because Habba was the general counsel for her second husband's parking garage company, and then also represented Siggy Flicker, a former Real Housewife of New Jersey. They're now good friends and are constantly seen at Mar-a-Lago at different social events.
With Ramona too,
I'm sure of it. And
I love the Housewives Trump connection.
Oh, and it's pretty layered. It's pretty varied. Yeah,
they were all in The Apprentice too. He loves Real Housewives anyway.
And also the fact that she's like a conventionally beautiful woman who is also extremely abrasive and extremely like ardently supportive of him, and like will unapologetically debase herself in front of the press,
right,
day in and day out, and just say the same canned speech over and over and over again.
But you're wrong that she's the ideal, because she should be blonde.
She should be blonder.
Like
I think she sort of has the ombre going, but I think she should be like definitely a little more blonde. But I think she does the job in terms of like having the sort of Trump woman look for his surrogates, and also just being very loud and sort of kind of
Bradley, you're the only straight man that I can think of that would know what ombre is. Okay,
I think I got it. I'm pretty sure I deployed that somewhat accurately.
She does have a bit of an ombre hairstyle or hair dye style. You're totally right. Definitely an upgrade aesthetically from
I'm gonna hang my hat on that today. That's gonna be one of my small victories of the day.
Yeah, you got to tell your wife that later. But it's this case. Randall Eliasing was a little bit more skeptical about the strength of it because they're trying to say that the cooking of these more private books or not disclosing things correctly, the fact that the prosecution's trying to make it about election interference may be too much of a stretch on appeal. It depends on what the jury comes down with, even though it's clear that he does this left and right, overinflating his assets when he needs to, saying he has less money when he needs to as well in order to get more favorable deals. But the stuff that we need to be really watching out for is that the Jack Smith federal documents case is extremely strong. Trump clearly tried to hide those documents upon repeated requests for them to get returned. He obfuscated, returned half of them or just a fraction. There's a significantly stronger way to make that case because it's just so clear how Trump was doing something illegal over and over again, and flagrantly so. The part that should freak people out is that it's a federal case, and if Donald Trump gets reelected, he'll just end it. He'll end it. And you won't. And same with the January 6th case. So that's kind of like the existential thing that we're dealing with as it relates to these court issues.
Well, and also like the court issue thing. This is why I don't really like to confine myself to the questions that the court is asking, because our guest yesterday even said the stuff about it's kind of a bank shot with regards to the payoff for Stormy Daniels, but the catch and kill thing with National Enquirer,
right?
Whether it's completely legal that this happens, but it is not understood widely enough how horrible that sort of arrangement is and how antithetical to the truth it is. Imagine if you had a story about a presidential candidate and you thought the National Enquirer was going to help you get that out, and instead they bought it from you, put you under an NDA, and said, actually, that's never coming out. Mm-hmm. That's what happens, and that's what's absolutely just legal.
And he testified that guy David
Pecker. Yeah.
David Pecker.
The aptly named David Pecker.
Just completely ridiculous, and we live in a simulation. He was saying basically that Trump during that race went to him and said, "Will you be my eyes and ears?" Basically, about specifically the implication is what he testified was stories related to women. Yeah. And we know that Donald Trump has been accused of sexual misconduct dozens of times.
And Karen McDougal was the other one, which is like not as widely discussed, but a similar, like almost like longer term affair seemingly that he had outside of the Stormy Daniels encounter.
So like for all those free speech people, I mean, like I've heard that social media companies are just, they're censorious about conservatives. They're trying to, I bought Twitter to liberate you. I mean, I did the report.
Let's see if Elon does anything.
I've held my fire on you.
Where's the National Enquirer files?
I know.
Matt Taibbi?
Yeah, we got to get Catch and Kill not by Ronan Farrow, but another one for the Enquirer.
Catch and Kill 2.0.
Yeah, Catch and Kill 2.
Also, just want to shout out Laverne Cox in the chat. $100 super chat with the message. Oh, let me just check this message out. What does it say? Oh, not to objectify, but Matt is looking very sexy today. Left his best. Oh, thank you.
We love you, Laverne. We love you.
But how dare you say that about Matt and not about me?
Yeah, come on.
Friendship over. I'm just joking.